It is Sunday, and it is episode 52, Best of Rivals podcast. I'm Jordan J. Will, and I got my boy D. Bev in the building. How you feeling, Brody?
Doing well, doing well. Just come off the 4-0, feeling good. Um, expected though, right? I mean, we beat them in the league. Now we're beating them in the cup. Beat them in the other cup. I mean, how many more times, Jay? Before they get to the point.
Yeah, speaking of that too, uh, slight break from the Prim again, and once again, another little hiatus and everything with this stuff. Like, I want to see a continuation with the games. I do appreciate these tourneys here and there, I get that. But I want to see the league, ongoing. We have hot runs with teams, United, for example, but we have to give some shouts to the FA Cup. And my team has played. Your team played today. We both killed our opposition, and I find it very, very interesting and fascinating that Chelsea came into play. You defeated Chelsea. We defeated Frank Lampard, a former Chelsea legend with Everton. Which club needs the FA Cup more, United or City?
It's got to be United. You know what's funny though? Like, so Eric Ten Hag just came in, worst season you guys have ever had last year, right?
Calm
So in
down.
reality, it was the worst season you guys ever had. It's like just statistically, I'm giving you guys credit. So
Okay.
like he's came in and already exceeded expectations. So like from that perspective, yeah, he probably doesn't need it, at least him personally. But for us, we're looking for bigger and better things. This Champions League has haunted us now for what 4 or 5 years. So that's what we're looking for. So this FA Cup, sure, I want it personally, but um, I think it's Man U who really really needs this one.
You say Man U.
Yeah,
I tell you you're wrong.
you always do.
And it's not as simple as you think. Yeah, you guys may be in a better position in in the Premier League. You're doing well. You won the title, more recent than most clubs. We get that right. We're talking FA Cup. And I like facts. I like going to the history books. I like digging up that cold heart research that people don't want to look for. And to my knowledge, there's only one club that has more FA Cups than us, and it's those bums in London, the ones who wear red.
Yeah, yeah.
Arsenal, they have 14, we have 12. And some teams fill in the gaps right there. You keep going down. Not 8, not 7. There's Man City with 6.
Who
You bums have
cares?
6. So
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying is, get your count up. You need to win this tournament to get up on our level. It's the bottom line. I'm not making it up. It's
You just
facts.
you just started this podcast saying
Crazy.
you just started this podcast saying that the little tournaments they're okay, but we want to get back to the Premier League, and then you're bringing up those numbers. Come on, what is going on here, Jay? Listen, I get it. Our FA Cup runs haven't been fantastic, but look at us in the Carabao. We win every time except for last year. So we're chilling. We're chilling. This type of silverware, bro. We'll take it when we can. I mean, just look at last season, right?
Yeah.
Like Liverpool, they won Carabao,
Yeah.
they won FA Cup,
Yeah.
and nobody's talking about them, right? Because they're looking at them as failures because they didn't win the Champions League and they didn't win the Premier League. So, how much do these cups really mean now? I was looking at, um, I think it was a video of people talking about the FA Cup doesn't mean as much today as it did maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and I think there is some truth to that. Maybe just because the fan base is a little bit different, but in my opinion, it's still a massive trophy. But maybe it just doesn't get the same respect that it used to. I'm not sure.
Um I just think there's so many different tournaments going on all at once. We keep seeing new creations. Like, I think FIFA just created a whole new like World Cup with the club level,
Yeah,
So, people are just, it's hard to keep track and really appreciate tournaments for what they were. But that's why I love history. That's why I love going into history books, because then to me that holds weight. Yeah, I
yeah,
can go to something and be like, hey, this is why this tournament's important.
yeah,
And to me, a lot of the major clubs, especially in England, have taken the FA Cup seriously,
yeah.
especially the big clubs. The big six, the big four, top four, whatever how you want to look at it. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea. City's trying to crack that, in my opinion. You guys have been trying to crack that for the past, you know, 6 to 8 years now. And you've made a dent in the Premier League. We acknowledge you, but like there's other tournaments as well, and you guys need to make some noise there. That's all I'm saying.
It's a fair point.
What do I
Yeah,
know though?
it's no, it's a fair point, Jay. It's a fair point. I'm not gonna disagree with you crazy on that one.
Yeah, but while the FA Cup is going on, this is also a really crazy time for transfers in the transfer market. And coming off the World Cup, a lot of players have upped their value, decreased their value, however you want to look at it. And recently I saw like a poll, or it was just a ranking from CIES football, which is like some accredited, you know, football organization in the world, right? And what piqued my interest was the rankings, and they had I'll go into detail with the values, but 1 through 5, it was Jude at number 1, right? You hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we
That's
got
first off, it's right already. So yeah, keep
okay,
going.
okay, okay. All right. Jude at number 1, and then we have Foden at number 2, Mbappe at number 3, Vinny at number 4, and then Holland at number 5.
Yep, and that's in terms of like transfer value, right?
Yes, transfer value, and I'm guessing they're taking into account the age, how much they produce for the club, the potential, the ceiling, all that. It's all
Yeah.
coming into play. Um,
Jay,
wow,
Jay, Jay. Quick question. Quick question. Are these guys? Is it an English organization by any chance, Jay?
I gotta dive into it a little bit more deeper, right? Because what's really grabbed my attention, we got Jude at number 1, and I get Mr. Bellingham. He's the prized possession right now. He's the one everyone is going for. We get that. Had a good World Cup. Could have been better, but he had a good World Cup. But has he accomplished more than Mbappe at this level and at this age?
No, no, of
No,
course
right?
not.
And Mbappe is what? I think 24 now?
20, yeah, 20,
24?
yeah,
23, 24, something like that. He's still young. We're looking at these rankings. We got slack on our one of our TikToks because we mentioned Mbappe for like one of the best youngsters award, right? Right? They include them in this transfer value market thing where they essentially list nothing but young players. You got
yeah,
Vinny, Mbappe, Holland, Jude, Foden. These are all young players. So what is young to me for one, you know? And then like why are we putting Jude over Mbappe when Mbappe has accomplished more? He's won a World Cup. He's been to
L-
2 World Cups.
yeah,
His goals speak wonders. He's won a league cup every time he's been there, at Monaco and at PSG. Like he's to me is number 1 without a doubt. Let's not be fools here.
yeah. No, listen. If this organization isn't
English
just like pure,
bias.
if it's listen, let's just say it's not pure bias. Let's give them benefit of the doubt. I think it's got to be pure bias, right? But let's say it's not. The only reason you would ever put Jude over Mbappe is because Jude's 19. That's the only thing that you could think of. Like, okay, this is why his value would be
Yeah.
higher. But other than that, I mean, nah. Listen, not the biggest Mbappe fan, but he's the guy right now. Him and Holland are miles above everyone else in terms of value because the hardest thing in football is scoring goals. And if you have two guys that score goals with their eyes closed, um, they're going to be the highest value.
I hear you on all that, right? But I also got to say, I'm speaking on it. I'm speaking on it. I'm tired of the English bias. That's what it is. That's what it is here with this one. I'm onto something. I figure it out. I'm looking at that top 5 and seeing those names, and there's one that did not get mentioned that should be there. Jamal Musiala.
You love this guy.
Listen to me though.
It's because
Listen to
it's
me
because you
though.
look
Not,
like him. It's because you. Is that your
no,
cousin Jay?
stop it. Not every light skin looks alike. You're capping. What's wrong with you, boy? Um, nah. So hear me out. One, we all know that he's a wonder kid. We've seen him play. He's the best young creator right now, in my opinion. Yes, he is. He's a better creator than Jude Bellingham, possession wise and doing
Yes.
everything from end to end. Yes, I'm taking Jude. I get that. but assisting, creating, scoring goals, Jamal has it better than Gavi, all them fools over there. Stop it, right? He's German, but he's also English. And my thinking is, if this is an English organization that listed this top 5 transfer market values, why wouldn't they take a shot at Jamal when he could have played for England in the World Cup? It's a shot. They bums. Come on, man.
He wouldn't have
I'm
played
telling you,
anyway. You know he wouldn't have
he
played.
wouldn't have played. He wouldn't have started in the English midfield.
Who's our manager? What are you talking about? Of course he wouldn't have.
Southgate, you're right, but come
All
on, you
right.
can't deny that talent, bro. Like
Okay,
you
but I
couldn't
know I
deny Jude.
agree.
He didn't want to start Jude. He didn't want
I
to start
know,
Jude. He wanted to play Jordan Henderson the whole tournament.
bro.
You
I know.
know,
Trust. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't have started. So bro, we wouldn't have seen him. You're lucky. He lucky he played for Germany.
you
No,
see, like,
I mean, listen. Overall, those types of lists, you know how I feel about them. And some of those numbers, like 200 million. Who's going for 200 million, bro?
yeah.
Like, that's not even realistic. These, like, think about it. Would you even pay 200 million for Mbappe?
Would I pay
Like,
200 million for Mbappe?
when you could pay like, let's just say like 100 million for like maybe a young striker, maybe like a proven striker. Like, think about Victor Osimhen at Napoli.
Yeah.
Like 80 million, 200 million for him, or 200 million from Mbappe. Like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. It just doesn't make sense. And if we start seeing these 200 million, 180 million, 160 million purchases, bro, I'm gonna really start looking at football a little bit differently. Like, it's already crazy as
Well, no, I
is.
mean, bro, no. See, and to me, you got to stop it. You got to be a realist. You got to be Daniel Bevan, the one I know. What does the game do? What does the world do? What does everything do? It evolves, and
Yeah,
it's everything. It increases, just inflation, everything, right? So you're
yeah,
looking at the
I
NBA,
understand.
all these numbers, everything goes up. Offense, contracts, people are
Of
getting
course,
paid more.
no,
It's
that no,
bums. It's
that's
bums
completely
getting max
irrelevant.
max contracts that should
I
not be even getting max contracts. It's that
Trust
simple.
me, I know but that's kind of irrelevant because it's purchasing a player's rights
Okay.
versus paying them, right? So pay these guys whatever you want to pay them. I don't really care about that. But if you're deciding to purchase a player for double the money, so instead of 100 million, 200 million,
Yeah.
he better be twice as good like all around than a Victor Osimhen at 100 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he has to live up to that, or else it doesn't make sense. So, like, is Mbappe twice as good as Victor Osimhen? Of course not. He's better for sure, but he's not twice as good. You know, he's not going to double his production.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets kind of crazy, right? When we start seeing these purchases, I mean, even like the Lukaku purchase, even the Grealish purchase, these purchases are getting a little bit too crazy. When we know these players at 40, they're 40 to 60 million pound players. And it's, even in this market, that's what they are, but you're deciding to overpay. That's just going to hurt the next guy who's like, man, I really want this player for four. I mean, think about Mudryk at Shakhtar. Arsenal are trying to get him for a very reasonable 40 to 50 euros, million euros. Very, very reasonable. They're like, no, we want 100 million euros. What? And the only reason they want that is because Anthony went for 85 million pounds or 100 million euros. So the prices keep going up and they just do not make sense. So I think that we're going to get to a point. I think it's going to be a pendulum, right? So right now we're seeing uh, big clubs spending big money on players. I think it's going to switch back pretty soon once these prices get inflated, and we're going to start seeing some of these younger players being priority coming through academy systems. So that's what it was before, at least, and I think that's going to be sort of the norm now. Again, these prices are getting way, way too crazy, and we're talking about smaller teams as well who are like, listen, as good as Ajax is and as much history as they have, they shouldn't be demanding 100 million euros for a player. They just literally shouldn't. So, but kudos to them because they got it. So
No, I hear you. I hear you. Um, I just think that's, like I said, part of the game. Eventually, where it's gonna lead. Nothing we can really do about it. We just gotta accept it and move on.
I mean,
Um,
it doesn't matter to me.
right,
I just
exactly.
don't want my team to overspend on a
Yeah,
player,
yeah.
much like we did with Grealish, just
Well,
because.
and you don't have to worry about that though, because from what we've seen with Man City, you guys never overspend. And speaking of you guys moving to the transfer market, um, I don't know the kid's name. I don't know a lot of these kids' name that Pep seeks out and he gets. But there's an Argentinian in the midfield. I think he's like 20 years old. You guys just signed him, I'm pretty sure. Fab confirmed on it. Or it's
I think I saw this. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I saw this.
I
No
think he
idea who
played
he
I think he
is.
played with Julian as well. Played with Julian Alvarez.
It's probably his
Um
boy.
yeah, and young boy. So who knows what this kid may do, but you guys just did that. And then with us, we're linked to Wout Winged I believe his name is.
Yeah,
He's a Dutch striker.
Jay.
Um
Jay, that's one of the best pronunciations you've done.
hey, I know I'm getting better, bro.
I respect it.
I've been, I've been out here really studying and taking the time to understand the culture.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, Woot Winghorse.
Oh, Weghorst.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
No, listen,
6'6". Um,
Jay. Jay, come on. Don't even read his stats. We don't care.
no, no, no,
Jay.
no. But listen to what I'm saying though. Move past all the he does this, he does that. He's 6'6". To me, that stands out right away. Why? Because we need size. I'm big on size,
Yes.
especially with United and Ten Hag's system. It's simple. We need someone that's a target man that can bring in
Yes.
the ball, knock it in easily. Kind of like Holland. We wish we had that. Why not
Like
find
you
the
can't get
next best
Holland, so
thing?
next thing,
The next best thing. Hey, I'm telling you.
the
I'm
next
telling
best
you.
thing, Jay.
Hey,
Jay, he's like literally
and
100
listen to
on the
me. Listen to
list.
me. I'm not being uh premature here. I'm not over exaggerating. I get it. It's going to be a short term, solution. Fix getting to the top four, getting Champions League, maybe challenging, City for number two, make them nervous a little bit, sweat. That's what this is. And
You
then
think he's gonna do that?
listen, and then we're gonna get our guy and win a league.
Jay, what the hell are you talking about? I'm sorry. This is. Have you seen him play? He was at Burnley last year. Have you seen him play?
Hey. In Ten Hag, I trust.
Oh
If
no,
Eric wants him,
Jay,
and he comes, and
Jay,
he's a big man. That's all we need. We need
Jay,
someone that can take off the load from Rashford, who's going crazy right now. Shouts to him, But if he can bang in, give me
Jay,
five to six goals, you know, in this
Jay. He's
time
not gonna.
frame.
Jay, he's not gonna
Important
play.
goals at that,
Jay,
and
he's
in
not
a
gonna play
cup.
5 to 6 games. What are you talking about?
So why would he buy him then? What would be the
He's gonna.
purpose?
He has to be the third string striker. He has to be. If he's your backup striker, you guys are done. You guys are done. Are you Jay? Just because I go to the ball and I see the prettiest girl, and then I see the second prettiest girl, and then I see the 10th prettiest girl. Oh, Jay, I won them all, right? But I can only
Hey,
get the 10th
hey, hey,
prettiest.
hey, 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 hey. Can we at least you know be optimistic here?
It's your team. You could do whatever the hell you want. Jay, are you serious?
All right. I was this on my list of transfer signings goals? No, absolutely not. I didn't even know who this guy was until like
Until yesterday, I
48
know.
48 hours ago. When I researched his name and everything
Jay,
and looked him up,
Jay,
right?
he won't. Jay, if he
Listen to
play,
me.
he won't
Listen
play
to me
five or
though.
six games,
Listen
bro.
to me though. From an analytic standpoint, looking at it from the numbers, he's 6'6", like I said. He's Dutch.
That's all you've got.
He
He's
knows
six
Ten
six and he's
Hag.
Dutch. Oh, shut up. He doesn't know
Hey,
Ted Hag. He doesn't know Ted Hag.
they're best friends. They're boys. They go get Belgian beers every
Their neighbors, Jay.
Sunday.
Yeah, okay. That's the only reason they got him. Jay, they were looking for Giroud
I'm joking,
because
bro. Chill.
yeah, they're done. So how do you
Hey,
really feel?
how do I really feel? Honestly,
Yeah,
I
be
mean,
honest.
this is United. This is what I expect. I go in with
There
the
we
listen. I go in with these, crazy, just wishes of
Yeah.
players that I want. Think they're gonna come possibly. Jao from Atletico, and then it doesn't look like it's gonna pan through. Frankie also was just mentioned again from Barcelona. Know that's a prized possession that I've been wanting so much from like the past year or so. Just hearing so much about it.
Yeah.
And then the president says that basically Frankie isn't going anywhere. He's staying.
He's been
We love
saying
him.
that.
We value him. And I'm just like I'm over it. So like I said, this is the truth right here. I was giving you facts. I was giving you what Fab told me off of Twitter. You bum. Now this is the real. I'm tired of United not giving me what I want. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
knows it, but we're winning. So what I'm
I'm
saying,
actually
I trust Ten Hag.
yeah. I mean, I would if I were you too. I think if anything, this is a signing. This signing tells me that they're not done in the transfer window. That's kind of what it tells me. Because
You
again,
think so?
I think he's coming as a third string. You guys don't have a backup striker, right? Or at least like a natural number nine as a backup. So I think you guys still are definitely in for Zhao. You guys have to be. I mean, or whoever, like Giroud. I've heard a couple other names.
What's Atletico's price for Jao though?
Well, they want money for a loan. Like typically, you just loan out a player, you pay all his wages, blah blah blah. They want like I've heard in the ballpark of like 15 million pounds, 10 million pounds to loan him for 6 months. Like what? So I think Atletico is just kind of doing what most smart teams would do when they're negotiating with Man U.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure on those decision makers at Man U, their recruitment team at Man U. I think they might bite eventually. So overall, yeah, I don't know who you guys are gonna get, bro. I think this signing is just like, hey,
Well,
worst case scenario, we got him.
we got to get somebody, man.
Yeah,
Like I said, shouts to Rashford, and he's been balling. He's in the form of his life. Like I said, this is probably the Marcus Rashford that we were promised when he first came. From the academy. Pro, just hyped up to be the next golden boy, wonder kid, however you want to look at it, right?
yeah,
We need someone else though, because he can't do it all. He's gonna get hurt. Not wishing it, not hoping it, but just football. It's just how that sport is. Players go down, then you need someone off the bench to come in and fill that role, right?
yep.
We just can't settle for anyone though, and I think that's what we've been doing so far with Ten Hag. Malacia, um, Anthony's good signing, but I'm also still just like it was a kind of whatever buy.
Can I be on? Can I interject real quick?
Yeah,
I think Anthony's a fraud, bro. I really,
and
really
he just had
do.
a goal too as well.
But it's not a that's not a goal to celebrate. That doesn't like mean his game was
Yeah,
played well. He didn't play,
exactly. I
bro.
hear you. I hear you.
He's refusing to use his right foot, bro. Like is it? He's gonna be one of the easiest players in the world to mark, because it's so easy. It's so obvious what he's doing, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion I don't think he's a good player. I genuinely don't think he's a good footballer. Like the more I watch him, I don't know, Jay. I think that's a really really bad signing.
Um,
But continue.
he said, "But continue." No, I hear you. I'm not huge on Anthony. A lot of flair gives us so far what I've seen some big time goals when we need it. But then there's also that part of his game where he's absent. He's on the field, but he's off the field.
Yeah,
Doesn't have much of an impact. Like you said, doesn't really want to go certain his weaker foot. He hates it. So that limits us when we face a team like Man City or possibly Newcastle, Arsenal again. Like, that's gonna stop us at that point.
yeah.
But like I said, Marcus Rashford balling. And my question to you, he's hot right now. Saka's hot right now. Both on the wing. Rashford plays striker sometimes as well. But typically on the wing, who are you taking? And if I go to their stats, 17 games, 17 appearances, right? Rashford, 7 goals, 3 assists, 18 shots on target. And we got Saka, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 shots on target.
I mean,
Who
you
you
could say all the numbers you want when it comes to Rashford. You don't get to have a good half of a season and be better than the guy that's been putting bro. Saka's been arguably the best player for Arsenal for the last 3 seasons. So I'm going with Saka every single day of the week. Every single day of the
All
week.
right, okay. Well, I'll let you have your opinion. That's what it
You asked me,
is.
Jay.
That's what it is, an opinion. Hey, listen to me, you bum. Calm down. I agree. My pick would be Saka, but I think it's your approach to the game and how you look at it, right? Like you said, Rashford has been non-existent for some part of the season, and
Yeah.
now he's kind of kicking into form. Saka, on the other hand, has been consistent and a main reason why Arsenal is number one. But also look at their games and how they play. Saka's more so I can score goals, but I'm going to also get others involved and apply pressure where it just affects the defense in a manner where they don't feel comfortable, right? Rashford, on the other hand, is just banging out goals. He's banging out goals left and right.
Yeah.
So I just think it depends on what you as a manager and a team needs. If you need a scoring threat like a Rashford, you
Yeah.
go for him.
You probably go Rashford for sure.
You go for Rashford, bro. Like you plug him into a system where that's what they need exactly. He can take a team probably to a trophy. I think
But you know
he's
what?
like,
I see what you're saying, bro. But I'm not. This isn't on you. This is really just on like all the English media that I'm hearing. Like
yeah.
they just want Rashford to be a superstar so bad, bro. It's like when he plays. It's like
Oh,
when
they
he's
do.
had this stretch of like being terrible and like inexcusably terrible, and it's like Rashford. He's gonna get it together. He's gonna get. And now he scores a few goals, and it's like, oh my god, Rashford. He's world
Bro,
class. It's bro,
they definitely
relax.
do. I'm telling you, I love my club and my fanboys, my brothers and my sisters, but dude, every time I go to the threads, it's oh he's back. Like he's here again. It's like we've heard this every year for the past 6 or 7 years. Like we talk
Yeah,
about Martial, people clown my boy for saying like, oh, he's finally here. Like 50 million is finally arrived. All this stuff. Rashford's the same thing. They've been you know side by side in their career in terms of how they come up and
yeah.
close to age and everything. The same player in a sense. They both have hot stretches. We just want to see if it's going to be consistently there throughout the whole
That's the thing.
season.
Yeah, that's the
That's it.
thing,
That's
right?
all. I'm not knocking them. Like I said, I would go with Saka, but I can see why someone would go with Rashford. He's a phenomenal goal scoring threat. Like if his IQ in terms of just knowing how to create for others was at that level with his goal scoring, he would be a world class player, like on the level of Mbappe.
But yes, right.
He would.
But even then, it's like okay, he's been a great goal scorer for how long? Again, 17 games. Like you know what I'm saying though. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
like go
Yeah.
crazy at him, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like the second he starts getting on a roll, oh my god, Rashford's the best.
Yeah.
Rashford's not even close to like an elite striker or an
Yeah.
elite winger. I don't think he's anywhere close. I think he's doing a great job at the moment.
Okay.
You know,
Well, speaking of a striker, we talk about Rashford. There's another English boy, man, that has been just dominating in the Premier League for a long time now. And I think we take him for granted sometimes because his team success isn't as good as his solo or individual success. But Harry Kane, the man from Tottenham, we're taking a break from the Prem, but it's coming up, and he's one goal away from claiming the throne as the greatest Tottenham goal scorer, and he's 2 goals away from 200 Premier League goals. Where does he rank for you amongst
I
the
don't
Roonies?
I don't care about all the stats, Jay. You
I'm
can stop
hey,
right now.
no. You may not, but they play for something though. So I know Daniel doesn't like it, but these mean something at the end of the day. It's why they get rewards, why they get money. It's why they have that nice hat. Like, come on, it means
Yeah,
something. Don't
it
don't
does.
don't do
It
that.
does mean something, but when it comes to Harry Kane, he's just the one player where I'm like, does it really? Listen, Harry Kane, he does a. It seems like he's playing for those records, bro. That's what it
Okay,
seems like to
okay,
me.
okay. Yeah, I
So
hear
this
you.
is
I
why
hear
the
you.
numbers,
Don't mean nothing. Yeah,
it's difficult, right? Because I'm the type of guy like, listen, if you're in a bad team and you're playing great, you should be, you should still be rewarded for that. It's not your fault your team's not winning. But the guy's not only for England is he horrendous, regardless of his goal scoring record, because he scores 12 goals against Andorra, and that kind of makes up the goals. Yeah, bro, even for Tottenham, as great as he is coming deep, you know, making great passes and great decisions for, Son and Kulusevski and like he does a great job, bro. But as long as you're at Tottenham, bro, score a million goals for all I care. You're not. You just said Rooney, right? Like who else? Aguero, Drogba, like
yeah. Sure.
not even close.
Cole,
Not even close.
Henri,
Not even close.
Drogba.
It's just
Like, yeah, I
like
mean, so I hear you. I hear you. He's a different type of player. He's the type of player that I don't like personally either. I think there's a difference between wanting to win and then wanting to get stats.
I think he's a stat machine.
He's a stat
You know.
machine. He's gonna get his numbers at the end of the day, so you can't say he's a bad player. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
what is he doing for his team, for the English team, for Tottenham? At the end of the day, he has not won a major trophy like at all. I don't believe.
No, he
Um,
hasn't. He's still, and he's 29, bro. He's like 29, 30 years old.
oh
You know,
yeah, yeah. At this point, his career is. I mean, he wins. Say England wins a Euro.
yeah.
Do we finally say Harry Kane is an all-time great and he deserves to be there?
If he did something in the Euros, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, bro. The guy looks like he can't run for England. You know what I mean? And again, listen, sure, that's maybe a Southgate issue more so than a Harry Kane issue. I'm
Yeah,
not. I don't want this to come off as like I'm hating on Harry Kane because I think he's a good player. I wanted him 2 years ago,
yeah.
but I don't know. I'm tired of hearing Harry Kane. I'm tired of it, bro. And
Okay.
it's not your fault. It's just like Harry Kane, Harry Kane, Harry. What is, bro? He's decided to stay at that team and continue to lose.
Yeah.
He cares about money and goals more than he does about winning, in my opinion. So yeah, yeah, and like when you're saying the names of like Drogba, Aguero, Rooney,
Yeah.
Henry, all those guys are winners. Like all of them are winners, bro. I don't
Yeah.
care how many less goals they have than Harry Kane. They're all winners. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't want to talk about, the English side of football, we can come over to America because we got our problems as well.
yeah,
Finish it up. Our national team didn't really do. We did what America does in every World Cup. We win a couple games and then we out. Boom. Right. And it's
bro,
messed
that's
up,
facts. That's facts. It's
but
facts
it's
though.
true. It's true, right? And I think it has a lot to do with management and who we have at the helm handling our troops and putting them in position.
Yeah,
And a lot of people aren't fans of Greg Berhalter. Um, just-
yeah.
the dude doesn't really know what he's doing, and
I never heard of him until a couple months ago. To be
yeah.
honest with you.
But the way he handled the whole, Gio Reyna situation, and Berhalter, I guess, has had previous issues with the Reynas. It's come out that his mom like reported on him to like the federation, soccer federation,
Yeah,
about some, you know, at home troubles
yeah. It's a lot
and
of politics
a
going
lot
on at
a
the
lot a
moment.
lot of politics, right? So when people come to me and say you're crazy, these conspiracies, I'm like, I'm not making up nothing. Like these are politics. I'm telling you, it's the Game of Thrones. Like this is what people do in order to get in positions of power, positions of play. But I just I don't know, it came into my mind. I'm like thinking, like did this have something to do with why Gio didn't really play in this World Cup? Because we all know, I think everyone knows that watches football. Gio is probably one of our best talents, along with Christian,
Yeah,
in terms of attacking, and he's played in a respected professional league in the Bundesliga.
yeah,
Why don't you have him on the field? Is what everyone's wondering. So when I hear a situation like this, where it's like legal trouble involved as well, and now Bro Halter isn't, I don't think he's in contention to be coach or manager again. Like his contract just expired, and there's an investigation ongoing. What's going on, man?
I mean, for you guys, it should be if you're a USA fan, it should be a good thing. I mean,
Oh yeah, we
clearly,
want him out. We want him
clearly he
out.
doesn't know what he's doing. Clearly, and like you said, a lot of the U.S. managers, much like the England managers, bro, we're just like that's not our strength. Um, I think the U.S. job would actually be a really really good job for some good managers, bro. I
Bro,
think
so hear me,
yeah
and that's my last point I'm gonna get to, and then we can get out of here. So I know people got things they want to do besides listen to us talk and ramble, even though my voice is amazing. Um, I think the job itself would be the next best thing. Because not only could you get, a country like the US to a point of, you know, being respected as a football great, especially as a country, right? But you're also getting out the ass resources when it comes to money and
Yep.
funding. Like you ain't got to worry about not being taken care of in the United States,
Yeah.
unless you're,
100%.
you know, we go to other parties and stuff. But when it comes to what they want, like what the government wants to see win and achieve things, sports is one of them because it brings in money and revenue. And why not bring the United States up to the greats of England, Spain, Italy, Germany? It makes sense. So I would love to see Henri possibly become a candidate. Hey, he's I think he's
Not
the
him.
he's the Belgian like assistant right now. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like, look, he may not be the best in terms of resume. He hasn't done much as a manager, right? But he knows football. I want a football mind, someone who's been around the academy, who's been around a system, who can bring that over to us possibly, and then start a new regime. That's what I'm hoping for.
That'd be interesting. I just don't think the Henry thing is the right play, and that's only because I think even at Red Bull he wasn't very good. So like, yeah, one of the
But
greatest players
you
of all
see,
time,
yeah, but you see what I'm saying
but
though. He has American ties at that.
yeah,
Like
he
it just makes
100%.
sense to have someone that's who you thinking.
Um,
Don't say no crazy name, bro.
well, let me put it like this. I think I was actually thinking about this yesterday because I just think that managers, good managers, they're in short supply, bro. They really are. From what I'm hearing from yesterday, Roberto Martinez, the
Oh my
failure
god,
of
he's going to
Belgium,
Portugal.
bro. Portugal won him. There's other teams that won him. Why would you want him? Why would any club or any nation want him as your manager?
What
You know what I mean?
that makes sense for Portugal though, because I just feel like that's what they do. They don't. They just fill gaps. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna get the next back. We're gonna repeat and
This,
like
you,
what?
you know what this is like, and I'll do a basketball analogy. This is like bringing in D'Antoni. You know, this is what every team does, bro. They just bring in D'Antoni. He's never won anything. Let's bring him in. It makes no sense, bro. So when we talk about
That's a
on,
good one. That's a good one. If people don't know Mike D'Antoni, that is a perfect example. He
that's
comes in, he just knows it's about to be D'Antoni show,
yeah, it's
and
just
that's it.
D'Antoni. Yeah, you know, like it doesn't matter about the roster of Portugal playing a back five.
Yeah,
Done. You know,
yeah,
so I think yeah, who would you guys pick as a manager? It's so weird because a lot of the club level managers they don't want to. It doesn't seem like they actually want to ever go into international managing. So
yeah. That's true. That's true. That is
you
very
know,
true. You have to kind of pick from what you have right there. Um,
I think I
at the
think I
helm.
think a manager that doesn't play politics would actually be good because I think like we just saw with Reina, you know, if the reason that he didn't play as much as he did was because of some behind the scenes stuff, bro, like you guys could have beat Netherlands. You guys
Bro, we
could have
definitely could have beat Netherlands, and
you could
that's
have
what
beat Netherlands,
that's what
you know?
trips me out. And I haven't talked about that with the United States, but we had so much potential because while that Netherlands team was good, they weren't great,
They're not great.
and they had flaws. What they had, you know, um, chinks in their armor that we could have possibly got past, and we didn't because we didn't use our resources.
Yep.
Politics. It's like at the end of the day, put your ego to the side, man. We need everyone available that we can to be one of the best teams in the
Yeah.
world. So
No, I 100% agree. I mean, yeah, last point, I do agree. Last point, last point, I do agree that yeah, I think if you're USA, you don't get another US manager. It just doesn't make sense, bro.
no, it does
Like
not, bro.
humble yourself, put down the ego, and just be like, listen,
Bro, the
we're not good. We need people who've literally been around this game
the
since they were 3 years old. You know,
yes,
like yeah,
our most successful like spot in past history has been with a German coach and Jurgen Klinsmann. Like
yeah, yeah.
just makes sense. Go with people who know the sport really, really well,
Who know the sport?
not people who don't, who are
Yeah, yeah.
just trying to make something out of it. Like, nah,
Did you ever hear about him? What's his name again?
who,
Berhalter. Did you ever hear about him before the World Cup? Or
bro?
am I
So,
bugging?
like, no BS. I'm pretty sure I did like one time because I think he was always kind of involved with the team in some sense. So I think it was like rumblings about him, but nothing crazy. Like, no, he wasn't like respected. Like,
Yeah,
oh, he
I've never
brought
heard
this
of them.
club to this level and won this title. Like, no, it was just someone who probably knew the system and
Yeah,
worked his way up.
I thought it was some guys like that or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Crazy.
he did play with Gio's dad though, with
Yeah,
Claudio.
that's why they hate him. You never
So
pass him the
hey,
ball.
so look, there you go again. Some more that comes into play. Play with the father. Like, what if they got into it back in the day?
They probably did.
You know, like he didn't pass me the ball, so I'm about to get
So
on
I'm
his
not. So I'm
son.
not playing your son.
You got some spiteful people in a world like that, man. So
Crazy.
hey, be
I,
careful out here, bro.
I
Telling
will.
you.
I will say last thing before we get off the topic
Yeah.
is Jesse Marsh from Leeds. I
Okay.
obviously American, but
Yes.
clearly respected. I think he's done, in my opinion, a really good job at Leeds, bro. Staying up last season. They're not really down at the bottom three this season.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring an American manager, it's 100% Jesse Marsh. And especially the way Leeds play, it's entertaining stuff. So
I mean, I hear you, but I don't like it. Only because like you're putting too much with this leads thing. Like they haven't done
no, it's
bad.
not
Like
good, bro. It's not good. Don't get twisted. It's not good, but I think he's done a decent job considering.
yeah.
You know,
Okay. Okay. I hear you. And he's playing in a league that's formidable. So I get
yeah,
it. I always take weight with stuff like that. I definitely respect it.
absolutely.
100%.
I think he, he doesn't sound the smartest in interviews, but I think he actually knows what he's doing, bro. I
Yeah.
think he does. So, um,
No facts. Yes, sir.
but that I mean, to be honest with you, I never thought we were going to bring up Jesse Marsh on the podcast, but
This is
you know,
American football. This is the side of the best of rivals that I love. Passion.
so annoying. Yeah, that's it for episode 52. You can find us on Instagram and Spotify. Oh, you can find us everywhere, I guess. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at The Best of Rivals. That is at The Best of Rivals. You can find the entire podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast at The Best of Rivals Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Um, and again, once again, appreciate the support as usual. And with that, episode 52, we are out.
Deuces, baby.